So getting into single case experiments, a single case experiment involves the application of experimental design to a single subject or a few individuals. So if I'm running an experiment on John, Steve, and Harry, that's still a single case experiment. If I'm running it on just John, that is still a single case experiment. We don't have a representative sample. It's not a large-scale normal research experiment, but we're still manipulating an IV, we're measuring a DV, and we may or may not have a control, and we'll go into that. So, one piece of terminology we need to hit is baseline. What is a stable baseline? Now, a baseline refers to the behavior without any intervention. So if I want to study John's behavior, and I want to see how, let's see, taking drugs influences John's behavior, if I'm implementing the drug as an intervention, let's say I'm testing marijuana usage or something, I need to observe John on his own without any drugs for a while. Okay, so I can get a stable idea across a couple of days. How does John study? Then I could implement a manipulation, drug, whatever else, and see what happens to John. So if we look down here at this graph of Bob, the baseline refers to Bob when no intervention has taken place. Okay, so we see September 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th. We're establishing a baseline. How does Bob behave? How does his behavior fluctuate or not fluctuate without any intervention? So, now we'll get to this full AB design in a moment, but first we'll talk about reversal. Reversal is simply the return to baseline that occurs when an intervention has been withdrawn. We should know that definition, and we should know that it may not occur if the intervention generalizes. So if the intervention sort of has a permanent effect, right, and it's not going to go back down to the baseline, we might not see reversal. If other variables are causing changes in behavior, these confounds, we might not see a clear reversal. And in these cases, multiple baseline designs, which we'll get into, may be preferred over reversal designs. Now, there's a specific type of single case research called an AB design or a reversal design. They're synonymous. This involves measuring a baseline, as in A, applying an intervention, as in B, and observing the changes in the baseline, and then withdrawing the intervention and observing the return to baseline, as we see in A. This is exactly what an AB intervention looks, research design looks like. This isn't always the best way to go, because as you might imagine, if we're testing like a cancer drug, we see the baseline is that the patient's not doing very well, we implement the drug and he's doing better. We can't take that drug away ethically, because that would violate the ethical principle of beneficence and non-maleficence. But this approach does work well when testing interventions with an expected immediate effect. So I might want to measure the effect of punching someone in the face, so I can look at them before they're punched in the face, then punch them in the face, and then withdraw the punching and see that they go back to a normal behavior. So something drastic, something that we expect to have a serious impact, would be a good candidate for reversal design. Now, by contrast, we have multiple baseline designs which compare the effects of an intervention on multiple baselines. So the multiple baselines might be John, Steve, and Harry, so across individuals, across subjects. It might be we are looking at the effect of something while brushing your teeth, while combing your hair, or while taking a shower. That would be multiple baselines across behaviors. Or we might look at the effect of an intervention across settings. So at home, at work, at school. 3 different settings, 3 different baselines. What does the intervention do in each case? And as we mentioned, this mode of study can be used in cases where reversal does not occur, or when withdrawal of treatment would be unethical. Now that wraps up single subject design or small sample design, single case experiments. And in our next video, hopefully we'll go into quasi-experimental designs and run through different types of those.